this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And today's pick a card reading is called So You Didn't Go to College. So today's reading is going to be a really interesting one, you guys. I talked to so many of you guys in personal Skype sessions, video chats, and in personal readings, and even just in the comments here. Some of you guys are really worried because you haven't gone to college or you dropped out of school and you're still trying to kind of find your way, wanting to start a career that's going to really bring you that passion and that energy, but maybe feeling a little bit down or worried and like not knowing how to start this path because for whatever reason, because of your decision or because of situations, you're just feeling like college isn't right for you or you don't want to go to college. So for those of you guys who have gone to college, this is not a reading for you, okay? And I'm not here to diss on college at all. I think it's amazing. I'm really impressed by people that have gone to school. I coach people who are getting their masters and their PhDs and doing amazing things in this world. And I do think that there are some beautiful things about the education system and some amazing schools out there and amazing opportunities. But this is a reading for people that just aren't really feeling that. And that's okay because everyone is on their own path. So before I allow you guys to choose one of these flowers or stack of cards to get your message, I want to tell you guys a little bit of my personal story. So I enrolled in college, I think when I was 18 or 19 at a community college. It was weird because I didn't really do very well in high school. I was very distracted. Later on, I found out that I had ADHD and that I was going through a really abusive situation, which made it difficult for me to focus in school. I did really well in some classes, I did horrible in others, and when it came time for me to graduate from high school, I found out I was failing a couple classes, and I basically wasn't going to walk at graduation. So I basically technically failed high school. And I remember going to my journalism teacher and just crying because I was like, I'm not going to graduate high school. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. And he ended up talking to some of my teachers and making some arrangements for me to be able to like turn in a couple of assignments. And I actually cleaned one teacher's classroom for her in order to pass me in her class. So kind of like a little bit of bribery. It was weird. But anyways, somehow I walked at graduation, I passed, and when everybody else was taking their SATs and everybody else was thinking about what school they wanted to go to, I just didn't really understand the process. I kind of just thought like, oh, at some point maybe I'll apply to NYU or something, or I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. And so all of a sudden everybody's graduated, school is over, and I'm just sitting there going, well, crap, maybe I should go to college. So I signed up for a local community college. I really had no idea what I wanted to do. I really was interested in fashion and styling and all that kind of stuff, and business. And so I started taking business classes and was like a business admin major or whatever. And I got okay through school, but then I ended dropping out because I had to work full time. I was supporting myself. I was living in an apartment. And those of you guys who don't have a lot of support financially to go to school might realize how difficult it can be to work and also go to school. Also, I was depressed and like had PTSD and anxiety and was recovering from abuse and just wasn't really conscious of it at the time. So I dropped out of school, then I got back in school. Then I was having trouble in school again. I got tested, found out that I had dyslexia and ADHD, all that good stuff. And so I was able to get a little bit of help in school and enroll in like the disabled students program and all that good stuff. And I actually started doing better in school. And then my husband came into the picture and he was amazing. He ended up tutoring me and like I started like really owning it at school. One semester I was just taking a math class in order to like really just focus on that class because math was my most difficult subject, and I was almost done with my associates and I was going to be able to maybe transfer to another school to be able to like really get into my major. And I had this teacher that was just so creepy And it was weird because my husband was actually in the class with me, and it was like a trigonometry class or something. And this teacher was just weird. He was creeping on me. I had to like go outside in order to take my test because I had like, because of my ADHD, I would sit outside. Everybody else got to be inside. I got to be outside. I had extra time. He would approach me. He would say weird things to me. I can't really explain it. It's a little triggering to talk about it. Basically, I dropped out of the class because I was like, this guy's creeping me out. I'm getting frustrated. He's not really giving me my time. I'm sick of fighting the education program. I'm just gonna drop out this semester, keep working, and maybe enroll next semester that class with a different teacher. And my husband like really wanted me to stay, but he agreed that teacher was weird and was just like, you know what, just quit. So a couple weeks later, this teacher actually got arrested for, I gotta be careful because you can't really say too much stuff about this on YouTube, but you can infer that he kind of creeped on another female student, and he is now in jail. It was that bad. It was an extreme crime he committed, like horrible, you can imagine. So it was just weird. I just kept feeling like there were all these signs, and I finally was just like, I can't do this anymore. Screw school. So a couple years went by. I was just like still working my day job, trying to keep the lights on, the food on the table. And I finally one day just woke up and was like, I'm not happy. I love fashion. I love art. And I really felt like there was nothing I could do because I couldn't go to school anymore. And I just was always one step forward, two steps back. And I was like, I had this thought, what if I could school myself? What if I could find all the resources and I could like study and on my own, and I could make some type of portfolio and like put my work out there and like connect and collaborate with other people who are trying to get in the fashion industry? What if I could do this on my own? So I started researching and reading books and going on forums, and I found friends who had a camera and who liked to model, and I went to the thrift store and I bought some clothes, and this was all nights and weekends because I still had like a 35 hour a week job. And over time, I was able to post these pictures on social media. I was able to collaborate with new designers, and I saved up money and eventually moved to the city. And after 10 years of hard work, I became a fashion stylist and a creative director and a makeup artist. And I did that job while part-time. I was also getting into tarot, and then I kind of segued into this job. Now, long story short, my fashion dreams are not over because I have some fashion plans in the making right now, but I just think it's so interesting. I'm at this point now where I've had multiple different businesses. I started them on my own from the ground up. I educated myself. I've met the right people, networked with the right people, and was able to get jobs without college. So I know it's possible. It's hard. It might even be harder than college to start your own business or to break into an industry without that degree. But I just want you guys to know that it's possible. And for anyone out there that resonates with my story, I just want to send you love and light. And this reading is meant to show you guys that it's possible to create something for yourself and to have an abundant life without doing traditional college, okay? Now, the one thing I do want to say about this, you guys, is that there are many people who were extremely wealthy. Some of the wealthiest people in the world dropped out of college or didn't go to school. And some of you guys might be experiencing disabilities or mental health issues like I was. I don't want you to give up if you do feel like college is your path, okay? So that's a really personal decision. But for those of you guys who know this is not for me, this is a reading for you. All right, so if you're interested in receiving this reading and discovering this process with me, you can choose number 1, which is over here, the pink flower, number 2, the lavender, or number 3, the orange flowers. Once you have chosen, head down below to the timestamps or to the description where the timestamps are posted so you can click on them and instantly be fast forwarded to your part in the reading. And I'll see you soon. So for those of you guys who choose number 1, let's go ahead and get your message. So the first card here is the King or the Prince of Hearts or the Prince of Cups. This is actually like a personality type, an archetype in the tarot. So this is the type of person who is very passionate. And I'm going to say this person's you. If you chose this, you're likely someone who's very passionate, very romantic, and somebody who is just very, very full of life and full of heart. You might be somebody who experiences life in more of an emotional, heart-based way versus like a more logical, perceptive way. So you might be really sensitive. People who have this Prince of Hearts archetype are usually people that are naturally very psychic or very clairvoyant. People who are really good with emotions, maybe people who are really good with language or reading or writing or like metaphors or interpreting poetry. In fact, a lot of people who have the Prince of Hearts can be very musical. They're good at writing poetry or good at writing lyrics or good at instruments or good at singing or dancing or performing. So it's just an overall artistic type of person. So I think this is a message to you, like if you haven't realized it already, that you're an artist. And most of the people who come here and follow me on this channel are artists or empaths or creative type of people. Maybe that's just because of who I attract, or I'm addressing those types of people a lot on this channel, but you're definitely one of them. And this is a message to you that like your abundance is going to come through your creativity. So maybe that's a no-brainer at this point for you, but it's kind of nice to have that confirmation to know and to be reminded that money flows and abundance flows where your passion goes. So whatever you're the most passionate about, that's where money is going to find you. And it's going to be so different for each person. I'm kind of shocked that money has found me through tarot. Like, who would have thought? By the way, thank you guys for your support. Coming to this channel, purchasing readings from me and stuff like that. But you know, it's so random sometimes. I think the hardest thing about being an artist is figuring out what your niche is gonna be, what you're gonna choose to do. And you don't always have to choose one thing. You can have a couple different pots that are turning. I have a friend who is a director and a producer, and she sings and sometimes is in plays, and she also sells like these stuffed animals that she makes on Etsy. She's got a couple different pots that she's stirring. Shout out to you, girl, if you're watching this. So the thing is it could be a couple different things. I think maybe you haven't really had time to explore this path, because if you didn't go to college, maybe you had to get a job or 2 jobs, or maybe you got married, you got kids, or there could be, life happens. Life happens, you still got to survive. Some people are, fortunate enough to have family money or be supported by their family or be supported by their partner or whatever. But even still, there's daily responsibilities, there's stuff going on, and some of you guys really have to work. And maybe you found yourself in a job that's just not really you, that's just now. And maybe you're scared because you're like, how am I ever going to get out of this? And I know how draining it can be to work a job that just doesn't really feel like your truth. So here's the real deal, okay? What you need to do, or what I would suggest based off your cards, but of course it's always your choice, trust your intuition first, would be to spend some time vision boarding and kind of daydreaming and writing and journaling about the stuff you used to like to do when you were a teenager or when you were in high school or when you were younger. Because oftentimes when we're a little bit younger, even around ages 8, 9, 10, we can naturally have an inclination of who we are, what we like to do, or what's important to us, or what's fun. And there's so many little clues that are hidden like in childhood, in our adolescent years. But what happens is we're like forced through the system, and we're told that we need to be well-rounded students, and a lot of us don't have the opportunity, especially artists, to be artistic. You might have an art class or a pottery class or something at your school, but maybe you're being forced to do all this math and all this science, and it's good to know that stuff about the world, but it's like you just didn't have those opportunities, okay? So now you're an adult, and it's important to provide those opportunities for yourself. pick up where your education left off. Take responsibility for educating yourself. So this means it might be time for you to start researching some type of art class, or maybe to go online and find some type of tutorials to learn something that is interesting to you. There's tons of online courses. Some of them you have to pay for, and they're just like, you can just get the skills you need, or some of them are free. I'm not talking about going to online college, but artistically, if you want to improve your techniques, or you really want to explore something and really get your skill set up, then there's all sorts of ways. The amazing thing is that there's opportunities now for people who are artistic and who are creative that were not around 15, 20 years ago. Now we're living in the information era. Knowledge is at our fingertips, literally in the palm of our hands with our cell phones. You can teach yourself anything. So my advice for you would be to start learning and taking charge of your own personal education. Don't worry so much about how you look on paper. Worry more about creating something that you're proud of, and then share that process. Social media is so important to network, to get your work out there, to attract clients or customers or business partners or people to collaborate with. And eventually, if you want to start some type of creative business or sell your artwork or sell a product or service, you're going to have to use social media anyways. So might as well start marketing yourself, and maybe just start a little page where you're documenting your process of you learning. So document, don't create. Document, document, document. Take pictures of you purchasing your supplies. Take pictures of the supplies all over your bed and you making the thing, or just document everything and have this whole process out. Let people follow you, show them your process. Don't be afraid of starting from the beginning and starting from nothing. It can be an incredible process, and people love to watch people's work grow and expand. It's incredible. So put yourself out there, and you'll be surprised. There could be some people who come along your path to support you, to help you. Seek out mentors and teachers and tutors, and you get to kind of cherry pick the information you want to learn or the people you want to work with. And the answer for anything that you don't know how to do is always to hire someone. So if you're worried about but I don't know how to start a business, and how do I do my taxes? Well, with your day job, save up money and hire someone to help you with that. If eventually you get your craft or your material or the creative thing that you're going to sell, and you have it and you're posting it, and it's online, and you got your website up, and you're just feeling like you don't know how to market it, then hire someone to help you with it. If you don't know how to make your website, hire someone or do an online tutorial. And that's what I've had to do. There's some things that I'm just a random example. I'm working on making some jewelry right now for fun. Who knows? Maybe I'll sell it or something. I'm really good at making the jewelry, but the thing I'm bad at is putting the clasp on at the end. I'm having such a difficult time. So my husband helps me with that. He puts the little clasps on at the end. There's people out there that will want to help. Try to learn everything you can, and do as much as you can on your own, but you'll find the right people to help you along this process, and take it step by step. Don't worry too much about the big picture. Just start where you're at right now with the tools and materials you already have available to you. And this is the last card for you. This is temperance. This is about having patience, because if you're starting some kind of creative business, or you want to sell a product or a service, then it's going to take years to get that business off the ground. I talk to people almost every day who are really desperate to leave their day job, and they're wondering, if I just quit now, maybe in 6 months or 3 months I could have this business going, or maybe this can happen in a year or something. And I'm always just yeah, no. Sometimes, I've rarely heard of that, but it takes on average 3 to 5 years for a business to get off the ground and to support you. And there's statistics about that. I believe in miracles. Anything is possible, but the more time and momentum you put into something, the stronger it's gonna be. And I say this illustration a lot on the channel, but when you plant the seed of an orange tree, it takes on average 7 years for that tree to blossom and bloom and to produce that fruit. So if you want this to be a business that's gonna support you and your life and your finances and bring you abundance, it's probably not going to take a couple months to get there. It's going to take years. So if you're willing to work part-time or full-time at your day job and then nights and weekends hustle towards this, and you're willing to allow this to have organic growth and to just take your time with it and be patient, it will pay off. Patience is the game when it comes to starting some type of creative business. And the amazing thing is that once you start this business or this process or this self-discovery or exploring your creativity, you'll kind of forget about the whole money thing and the career thing. I mean, that might be your goal and you could be working hard and hustling on that, but it's just fun to come home from work and have something to do. It gives you a sense of purpose. It's really nice. Weekends when you get to go to the craft fair and sell your stuff, or do the photo shoot for the product, or to write the next page of the book, or whatever it is, becomes so beautiful, and your life starts to feel more in alignment, and you just start feeling better because you're like, I'm doing what I came here to do. Like, I'm being me, I'm expressing my truth. And when you go into work at your day job, even if it's just boring and you hate it, it actually becomes more fun. You start to appreciate the process more and realize, wow, I'm so thankful for this job because it's providing me with the resources and the stability and security so that I can support myself nights and weekends to work towards this new business. And one day, the magical day will come where you're able to quit your day job and do full-time your passion. And I'm there. I made it, you guys. It took me a long ass time, but I made it, and I'm so happy, and I want you guys to be inspired to know it can happen despite having crazy life circumstances, despite having depression or ADHD, whatever. You work around it and you can make it happen. There's a way for you. Use your mind, use your heart, use your soul. It's all the answers are inside of you. And I hope this message has just helped lift you up. Maybe you can go do some brainstorming or some writing after this. And remember, you don't have to have it all figured out overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. It'll take time for these ideas to come and for you to choose this path. But I know you can do it, okay? So I hope that this message resonated with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I will see you next time. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 2, let's go ahead and get your message. So you didn't go to college. What is your situation? What's in the cards for you today? So here's what I'm getting. You are definitely worried about money, finances, stuff like that. I mean, this is the Four of Pentacles. Look at the picture. She's just kind of like worried about her current situation. She's like afraid to move. She's holding everything very close. She's gotten some abundance. She's gotten security, but she's like afraid to like let it go or to try something new. And so I feel like you're at a point right now where you have landed in some type of industry, or you have been working a certain job, or you've been on a certain career path for a while, and you've gotten to the point where maybe you've gotten promotions, or you're feeling really stable, or you've given this job many years and it's a huge part of your life. And this is a message about like leaving difficult times behind. You might just be getting a handle on your finances or on some debt. And this is the rainbow that comes after the storm. So it's almost like you're finally stable, or you're just getting stable in your life and in your security and in your foundation. But what's hard and what's scary about this is that there's a side of you that might still be a little unfulfilled. And you're just thinking, how am I going to leave all of this security? How am I going to leave this for something that I don't even know is going to work? That could just be a pipe dream. That could just be a waste of my time. And so I actually feel like you might have a big dream. You might already know what it is. Maybe you know exactly what your passion is or what's fun for you, but it's such a big dream that you're like, gosh, I don't see how I'm gonna do that. I don't see how that's even gonna come together. And you're not even looking at it thinking like it's gonna be hard work, because I don't think you're afraid of hard work. I don't think you're afraid of that at all. I think the dream seems too big. Well, I have a positive message for you, because I think that there's a way for you to be able to claim the security you have now and be able to revel in that and appreciate where you are now and the work you've done, and to also be able to kind of segue or be able to kind of pivot into this new business, this new opportunity. So this is the Empress, okay? The Empress is a card of creativity. I feel like everyone today is going to be getting this message, but you're a creative person. You are kind of a jack of all trades. You can become really good at what you put your heart into. You get noticed at your job. You get promoted. You easily become a leader. People like your personality. You have a very infectious personality, and you might even be chosen to be the face of your company sometimes at work, or to be the one at the front desk greeting the people, or you might get awards or employee of the month or whatever job you have. And I feel like you might be someone who's tried a lot of different type of jobs potentially. And it's like you can be good at anything, but when you come home at the end of the day, there's a side of you that's just sad, that feels like this isn't me, and I thought I'd be doing so much more with my life in this area with my career. So there's a little clue for you in that, because I think this is telling you, since you are so good at whatever you do, you can certainly be good at something more artistic, for sure. I think there's a message for you coming up about building some type of portfolio of work. A portfolio, and in this portfolio I see pictures, I see images, or I see like experience, and it's like you just don't have any of that, and it's daunting to think about starting over at this point in your life. It's not starting over. I think there's a way for you to be able to do both of these things, okay? So first of all, you need to get real about what this dream is and finally admit it to yourself that I want this. That's the hardest thing, is to like realize we're worthy of our dreams. And if you look closely at this moon, it's like crying. It makes me think at nighttime when you're alone in the wee hours in the morning or night, that's when you're crying, or when you're thinking like, something's missing. So what's missing is your belief in yourself. It might be worth it to maybe try some affirmations to affirm to yourself, like, I'm worthy of my dreams. I am beautiful. I am on the path of my dreams. What if the path that you're on right now, even if it doesn't seem related to your dreams and your big career goals or your big idea, your creativity, what if this path actually did have something to do with it? What if this is just the path there? I think you might be feeling, I'm not on the path at all, I gotta change everything. But what if it's not a change? What if it's just a couple little things that you add to your day, to your schedule? So since you seem to be so creative at nighttime and have all these ideas, why not take a half hour, 20 minutes, or maybe even an hour before you go to bed or sometime at night to write, to do some affirmations, to work on this dream that you have, to research it, to read books about it. And I feel like just making the habit of spending, you can pick the time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, every single day to focus on this dream. So you're gonna start building momentum towards it, okay? So at first you could just watch YouTube videos on it, or you can read articles of people that you admire that are already in this creative industry that you're interested in. Or you can use this time to explore options. Some of you guys don't really know what you want to do, but I think there's a lot of people who are watching this who do know, but they've just been afraid to admit it. So this is just getting your mind to slowly develop the habit of opening to this, because we want to be really gentle with you. I feel like that's what you need here. Like, you need this gentleness. So 20 minutes a night or whatever of reading your book about it, or watching the YouTube videos on it, or looking up information on it. And you can start compiling all of these resources, maybe into some type of folder on your phone, or a playlist on YouTube, or like a vision board on Pinterest, or something like that, or in your journal taking notes. And you're just gonna start kind of researching this process. And once you feel like you've kind of understand what it is that you want and you've looked at the options, then you can start reaching out for help, mentoring. I keep getting this message, you're going to need some type of partner, you're going to need some type of teacher or some type of mentor. So this might look like enrolling in vocal lessons, or signing up for like some tutoring, or volunteering to help somebody, or be an assistant to somebody that does this job you're interested in, or working behind the scenes, or whatever it is. Or hiring like a personal art teacher, mentor, or something. Or maybe even hiring somebody who is like a career coach or job coach or something, because there's people like that out there. So that could be very, very helpful for you and beneficial for you. You don't have to do this alone. I think that's the main message. I would reach out for help. I would get a mentor. I would get a tutor. I would get someone to teach you. And maybe this doesn't have to be college. Maybe you're somebody who's going to benefit more from some type of like apprenticeship or workshop or something like that. So, or online type of course, not online school, but just like a course or something like that. Skillshare and Udemy have some really great courses, but basically you need to work on your skills. And then once you feel like your skills are up, start sharing that with others through social media, or through creating your website or your portfolio, creating opportunities for yourself to explore this and create and practice your skills and to hone them, meeting other people that might be able to collaborate with you. For instance, if you're singing, you can save up your money at your day job and you can hire somebody for some studio time to help you lay down your first song and lay down a track. It might be very expensive, but it can be worth it, because you can take that and you can put it up on SoundCloud, and you can be documenting your process and taking pictures, and start like an Instagram or a web page for you to do this, and just start building hype and just keep the flow going. So you might have to invest in this path. You might have to pay for it. You might have to like just put everything in it, and you might not be getting a lot out for a while financially, but slowly but surely you'll be able to merge into this career, into this industry. And what's good is that like you're really been working on your stability so that you have the time to do that. So I see dreams coming true for you if you're willing to stay consistent and to give it time and to hunt down the right people. And it can be just as hard as not going to college to kind of put yourself in the school of life here, but the process is going to be so fun, and I see opportunities for you. So I hope that this reading resonated with you. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 3, let's go ahead and get your cards. So interesting. I feel like these cards are really telling like a story. It's almost like a step-by-step of what needs to happen in your situation. So I think this is talking about things that might be holding you back, okay? And no worries, no guilt, no shame over what's holding you back. It happens. We all have things that hold us back sometimes, and awareness is key. Consciousness is key. So if you feel like any of this resonates with you, trust your intuition. Some of it might not. Always trust your intuition first. So this is actually talking about how your financial situation, funny enough, we've been seeing that in a lot of these readings, financial situation could be holding you back. This is the 8 of Pentacles. This is talking about career. This is actually talking about a future where you have a lot of abundance coming to you, that your karmic storehouse of wealth and abundance is just built up. You're like a giver. You're somebody who gives and gives and gives to others. A lot of time and sacrifice has gone into your path. I see people who are taking care of children, or maybe taking care of loved ones, people who are living with a relative to take care of them because they're sick or have some type of need. I see people who are gravitating towards the service industry because you like to help, but feeling very stressed and feeling really drained. I think this happens with empaths a lot. We end up being caretakers. We end up being in the service industry. We end up being in the customer service industry because we know deep down there's a side of us that likes to help, that likes to heal, that likes to, make others feel better. But the thing is this energy doesn't always have to be so robotic. That's the thing that's really tough about that type of industry, is that it's so draining. And a lot of jobs these days can make you work so many hours and like you barely get a break. And you know, it's interesting, I'm a traveler, so I've been to many other countries, and there's some places in the world I'm like, dang, these people have it good, because they get like a 2-hour break in the middle of the day, and their business and their life just flows so well around what they do. And like, I just think for you, you do like to help, you do like to support people, but you got to think more about your lifestyle. So when it comes to you figuring out what kind of career you want to do, especially since you haven't gone to college and you're going to be creating your own career, is to think about what type of lifestyle you picture yourself having. For instance, do you picture yourself going into like an office and having your own little corner office with like a view and being the CEO or the boss of the company? Do you picture yourself working in like some type of studio with like a small team of creatives? Do you picture yourself working alone? Do you picture yourself working from home? Do you know, what type of lifestyle do you want? And maybe some of you guys pick this one because you just hate to work and you don't want to work. And I know what that's like, okay? There's jobs out there for people who don't like to work. For instance, I have a friend who's a jewelry designer and she hates working, and she just hangs out and like beads jewelry all day and hangs out with her pets and like grocery shops and stays home and chills, and like she just gets to like kind of make her jewelry whenever she feels like, and it just sells like hotcakes because she learned how to do it and she's gotten really, really good at it, and she gets the best quality materials and she really takes pride in her work. But she actually went to college. She tried the whole like go to school thing and get the job, and she hated it. So maybe this is why you dropped out of school. Maybe this is why you like hate all the jobs you've had and you're just like, I don't know, I want to help people, but I just also hate working, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to really just be real with yourself and tell yourself what you want. And then you can go out and get it. And you might feel bad because you see other people around you who love their job and love their career and are doing all these cool things. And you're like, I don't know, I just kind of want to sit around and do nothing. Like, that's what I love. I love peace. I love silence. I love stillness. I love nature, whatever. Realize that there's still a lot that you can give while you give to yourself. Do you see how this woman in this card here, this person is opening their arms up to receive? They're telling you, you've given so much, it's time for you to open up and receive. Your worth is not measured by your productivity. You don't have to be super crazy productive in order to manifest wealth and abundance. You just gotta be smart. You know that whole like work smart, not hard? Well, I'm gonna say in the beginning, if you're gonna start some kind of business or sell some type of product or service or do something creative, then you're gonna have to work hard. You're definitely gonna have to work your ass off, but you'll get to a point where you can work smart, okay? You're gonna be able to set this all up. So you have a crossroads right now. Without college, you have a decision. Do you wanna work for people the rest of your life, or do you wanna work for yourself? There's only so many opportunities you can get in this world without college. And I know some people who've gotten into some pretty cool jobs and getting hired working for people by building up skills and experience without college. So you can definitely take that path. But do you want to work for yourself? Because this is the hermit. You might be like a Taurus. I think there's a lot of Taurus watching this. Taurus sun, Taurus moon. You're that little homebody. You want to be home. You want to have your little sanctuary. You like to be in your cave. So it's like you got to figure out a way. If that's what you want to do, you got to figure out a way to make it happen for you. So this is you becoming known for something. And you know what I think is interesting? This person here is like holding out their hands, like they've made something, they've made some type of magical product, and it's like they become known for it, the star. I think you might be somebody who's like a crafter. Here's another person using their hand to create magic. So maybe you're making something with your hands. Maybe you're creating something. Maybe it's artistic. Maybe you're typing code on a computer. You're the computer person. Maybe you're designing an app. Maybe you're a graphic designer. Maybe you're, anything, honestly. This is really up to you. I'm not here to tell you this is what your job is. This is what you're supposed to do. It's got to come from inside of you based off your passions and your talents. But I feel like the one thing I'm seeing for you is that working from home is going to be really good for you. So obviously you've got to keep your roof over your head and food on your table. This is going to be something you're going to work on. You're going to want to work on nights and weekends when you're not at work. And it's going to take a lot of time. But working towards this will be so much fun. You'll have something to look forward to when you're done with your work. You'll have something that will be fun, and it won't be that big of a deal that it's taken a long time to eventually quit the job and work from home and do all that good stuff. So I definitely think for you, meantime, you might want to think about getting some type of part-time job or job that allows you to work from home. Maybe you're like an online secretary or online customer service from home. Maybe you can test out and see if working from home, even if it's just for like some company or business or whatever, or doing translations or something, you'll like it, and you'll be able to like schedule your time. And even if you're working full time from home, maybe you'll realize this is better for you. This is more gentle for you, because sometimes with empaths and people who have this type of energy, it can be tough to be around so many people every day physically, and it can be so draining. So being in your own space and being able to choose when you go out in the world and like who you see, and that's just the best thing. And so I just keep getting this big message about you working from home, about you maybe using your hands or crafting or something to create abundance. This is the hermit, just realizing, you know what, maybe I'm better at working from home and being on my own. Realizing that you are worthy to receive more, and realizing at some point you're going to have to make a choice. You're either going to have to maybe you can find like a job you're working for something that's more in alignment with your passion, or maybe you can just start a business that's for yourself and hire yourself and work for yourself. So that's just some food for thought today. I'm excited for you. I definitely think there's some amazing possibilities out there for you if you have the eyes to see it, if you have the heart to believe it, and you have the energy and you have the passion to hustle and work towards it, you can definitely make it happen. So I hope that this resonates with you. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you next time. Well, you guys, I'm really interested to see what you think about this reading today. Should I do more readings on career, on if you didn't go to college, or finances, stuff like that? If you think so, then definitely give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Peace out.